All right.
Come closer.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna find out.
That's good, yeah. If they know, maybe.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Well, we're just trying to figure out what's Occupy Toronto all about.
Where are you from?
Newcastle, out near Oshawa.
You Canadian.
Yeah.
This is your first time here?
No, we don't come to Toronto that often, but
Okay. Occupy Toronto. Well, essentially it started on October 15th as a support for Occupy Wall Street movement, which had started in New York. I believe it was close to 2 months ago.
yeah.
So that's how it originated. On October 15th, when we moved here, 15 other Canadian cities in Canada had joined us,
Oh, okay.
as well as, I believe it was about 500 cities in about 80 countries, just on that single day. So just the background. Now, what this is about, well, you can just imagine, if that many people join us, we have to have a common purpose. We have to have, there has to be a common cause, and there is.
Yeah.
And that is social injustice in general.
Social injustice.
Social injustice.
Is that corruption in government?
Corruption in government, human rights being treaded on by the elite. Slowly my eyes have opened up to a lot of things in the past. Little by little, I started to understand that really, this is not a democracy as a democracy per se. It's a democracy that serves the wealthy ones, and there's one word that you call that. It's aristocracy.
Aristocracy. Okay. There's like, I see a lot of signs for like communism, socialism. Right? Is that kind of the like feeling across
No. You have to understand that the systems, communism, capitalism, democracy, those are all systems. Socialism is an idea. All these other systems are just twists on socialism.
Okay. What's
Socialism is society, it's people. Socialism comes from the idea of people being in one place. And then from that spring other systems.
So it's like, is there a separation between communism and socialism?
Absolutely.
What is it?
Socialism, Karl Marx was the originator of, he actually was the first one to properly explain socialism.
Yeah.
We all knew that it existed, we just didn't comprehend it. He was the first one that actually had a reason to actually put it in writing, because he noticed that the workers back in 1800s we were just slaves back then.
Yeah.
During the Industrial Revolutions, it was just all for wealthy. So he understood that we need to get the slaves out of the lands and give the land back to the slaves. That way, you make them part of society. He understood that. It was a big revolution. That's why Russian Revolution came about in 1917. The people who started Russian Revolution were the communists. They took the idea of socialism and they sort of put their own twist on it. And see, socialism does not necessarily have a government. Socialism with a government is communism.
Yeah. So you're for a smaller government or a bigger government? Like,
Well, I have my own ideas of what we should do, but I'm not going to tell you about it because it would be really selfish of me to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do see signs. There's signs that say, hey for Karl Marx. Others say down with Karl Marx.
Yeah.
Hey for socialism, down with communism, blah blah blah. Well, there's different groups that feel different ways. They have their own reason. That's okay because we're all here to express ourselves.
Yeah. I don't know much. Like, I haven't read a lot of like history about like socialism, communism. But what I've heard is that there's like 50 million or so Russians killed under like the communist rule.
Stalin.
Yeah, and anyone who like disagreed with the government, they just lined them up
That's
and
right.
shot them in the head.
I'm Polish, so I know a lot about that. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, but are you concerned that could come here, like that kind of rule?
Well, communism under Stalin became Stalinism. Stalinism is just another word for dictatorship.
Okay. A lot of people use Marx and Stalin in the same sentence, though, like they had kind of the same ideas.
Absolutely not. Stalin was the one who usurped the control, who took control of the government. He wouldn't let it go. He's Russian. He can tell you.
Yeah.
The first
Switzerland. I'm from Switzerland, but the founder where I work for is from Poland.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
so
I
it's okay, no
misunderstood.
problem. It's
Well,
close.
correct me if I'm wrong, but the Russian Revolution started as a noble idea. It was meant to liberate the slaves, the workers, and give the land back to the peasants.
Yeah.
However, they figured, well, if we need to have a government that oversees this, because there would be chaos without a ruling party. So Lenin took the socialism and he transformed it to socialism with a government. And the idea was that the few elite people, well, not elite, but people who had the power, they were called Politburo, and there was about 6 or 5 of them, and they included Trotsky, Lenin, Stalin, and a few other people that I don't know about. But there was infighting, you see? There was a struggle for power. So when Lenin died, a few years after the revolution, there was a lot of infighting. Trotsky got ejected, thrown out of the country. And Stalin seized the opportunity and took control of the whole Politburo. He killed everybody who were opposed to him. And from then on, it became not a communism, it became Stalinism. I mean, he was a great statesman. He did a lot of good things for Russia.
Yeah.
But in the end, he murdered more people than Hitler in the World War II. You're right, he killed about 50 to 60 million of his own people. And only about 20 to 30 million died in World War II, excluding the Russian prisoners.
Yeah.
So you can just imagine how people, so he kept everybody in fear. To answer your question, is that coming here? No. This is the closest that it comes to the idea of socialism. There's no leader here. We don't need leaders. We're against leaders. We don't need anybody telling us what to do. We have people walking around picking up garbage, not because somebody told them to, because they want to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
There's nobody. We can govern ourselves. This is an example to the world that we don't really need competition. We don't really need money. We don't really need people are telling what to do. We don't even need security. We can secure ourselves. We can govern ourselves, and this is a perfect example. And, so the dictatorship will never be here.
Well, I hope not.
Dictatorship may be. What may happen eventually is that if they try to kick us out of here and shall the blood spill,
Yeah.
then it'll be a different story.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. A lot of people think that's where this is headed, but I don't know myself. I hope that, I support the people more than I support the machine, you know what I mean? But hopefully it doesn't go to violence. Anyway, if you don't mind, I'm going to change this subject just real quick. All right, well, what I've been doing today is going around handing out gospel tracts, and you may not want to hear this, but do you guys believe in God, or?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Yeah. Do you believe in God?
I believe there's a higher power of consciousness.
Yeah.
God. No, I do not believe in God, but I do believe in the higher power of common consciousness. I think there's something about people that, they've done experiments that actually prove that there is. What's the word? It's not called common consciousness. I forget what it's called. But you know what I'm talking about. The idea is that if somebody thinks about something else, about a certain thing in one
There's
place,
like a connection.
there's like a connection. There's like a vibe. There's a wave, and
Yeah.
and you can interpret it any way you want to.